Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. We are currently here standing in the Carpenter's Guild to go through the Carpenter's Heavensward quest. Lens of a Lifetime. Desiree, I trust you have continued carving away at perfection in our art. I have a somewhat unusual request for you today. Finding the owner of an errant spear. A member of Gridania's finest brought it to me after discovering it during his patrol. How it ended up in the North Shore is a mystery, but it's a fine piece of craftsmanship. The style is undeniably Ishgardian, though few could tell as much as the spearhead is missing. To a master, however, the love of both carpenter and wielder for this weapon is obvious. The haft has been worn smooth through use, revealing the quinted pattern of wood. It is a king amongst lancers. I thank the whaler for his help, though it's a great pity he could not find the spearhead. Regardless, it deserves to be returned to he who loved it. I know I would be distraught if I lost such a treasure. As guildmaster, my duty keeps me firmly rooted here. Yet you, as an adventurer, have spread your branches far and wide, hence why I've brought it to your attention. Thankfully, the lance gives us a clue to its owner. Here, the ruined crown of a temple knight's carved upon the shaft. Of course, this only somewhat narrows the field, but a member of your order may be able to help. Judging with the age of a spear, the more veteran the better. In any case, I now leave this in your capable hands. Then let's go to Ishgard and see if we can find it. Veteran Temple Knight. Good day, sir. I've been with the Temple Knights for more years than I care to remember. Outlived more than a few whelps too, so how might I help you, sirs? A broken spear. Do you happen to know whom it might belong to? 7 elves take me. Haven't seen a lance like this since I was a squire. The owner like to be old as me, or dead. Who was that one bloke? Some fool joined the order around when I did, only to get himself killed by Beathin. Reason I remember him is because we found everything but his lance. I had a son too, craven lad, by the name of Bartovio, known to hang about the broom. Take the lance to him if you like, but if I'm right about it, I'm glad it's broken. Any lance that couldn't fend off a few bees has no place with the Temple Knights. Bartovio, Aye, Bartovio's my name. What business does an adventurer like yourself have of a lowly soldier like me? I believe I found your father's spear. Or whatever the Gridanians have. This is my father's spear. And you say it was in the Black Shroud? I was just a boy last time I saw this. It was the day my father rode off to battle the Horde astride his steed. Fine man of the Temple Knights. Last time I saw him alive too. We got his body back by and by, mangled though it was to the 7 elves, killed by measly beastkin of all things. Damn milksop. That's the way of Ishgard, adventurer. A man killed by a dragon is a hero, a man killed by beasts, well, let's just say I have my father to thank for a pox on my house. As I see it, my honor is mine to reclaim. I'll show the Temple Knights I'm worthy of their ranks, and with the only proof they'll accept, a Dravanian corpse. But I'll not fight with a spear. I have no desire to be mauled to death like my father. The bow is my weapon now, or it would be if I had a proper one to hunt dragons. You said you're a woman of a Carpenter's Guild, didn't you? Could you do it? Fashion me a proper composite bow, I mean? 'Tis a sudden request, I know, but... Philippe, one moment, son, I'm busy. Why don't you say hello to the adventurer? Or not. You have to excuse the boy. It's just me and him now. I fear his manners have suffered for it. He's a bright lad and I'm training him to wield the bow. We'll eat for a week on the fowl he brings home. But I've got no delusions. This is a hard life. I want better for him. But back to the matter at hand. I'm not a rich man and I don't have a guild to pay for a composite bow. But given time I can scrap a bit together. And then I expect your finest. Level 53 is next. Way beyond that. I was about to look for you. I've been checking the markets, and by my reckoning I've enough to pay for the best holy shadow composite bow you can fashion, if you allow me a discount. I had to kill a number of lesser dragons for this coin. The pay is shite, as any fool with a pointy stick can do for them. The real money's in the greater Ravanians. 'Tis very glorious, too. A proper bow will let me take one set, and win me knighthood, with any luck. I ask you on bended knee, friend. He actually does. Accept what I can pay, and make me a fine bow. Alright, a holy shadow composite bow. I have long dreamed of owning a fine holy shadow composite bow. Please, adventure. Why, 'tis light as a feather. Even a male my arm will never tire while holding it. The dwarf weighs thrice that of my last bow. Aye, this will fling a heavy broadhead a good 200 yards. Thank you, my friend. To tell the truth, I don't mean to hunt just any dragon. I've got a target in mind. Nigurulovilo. But it might as well be covered in steel armor. Even knights can't pierce the scales with their lances, let alone their arrows. But a well-aimed shot from this bow might slide between his plates. He's woken from a long sleep, you see. Last time he did, he left a trail of corpses. Niguruvilo's head will win me my knighthood and a better life for my boy. Not that Philippe sees it that way. Could you call him adventurer? He's always away from home these days. Spends all his time hunting out near the manufactory. Shh, can you see I'm busy hunting? These birds come into the city to avoid the winds. They're easy to catch even without a bow. I just lay out traps for them. Father wants me to come home? No. He keeps leaving to fight dragons, no matter how many times he gets hurt. I don't want to see him. No luck? Sorry to have put you through that. I wanted to see his face before I left. But no matter, I'm off to hunt, and if the gods are good, I'll have slain Niguruvilu by the time we meet next. I'll come back over you. How did it go? Desiree, thinks it not, well, I've not yet won my knighthood. Not on account of your bow. Why, I wager it could send an arrow clean through the greatest of dragons, but it would require the right bowman to do it. I fear I'm not that bowman. I waited for the right moment and loosed the shot with all my strength, only to watch Niguruvilu dodge it with ease. All I did was anger the dragon, and his ire was terrible. I'd ought to be dead by rights. It's a miracle that priest passed by when he did. I owe my life, and I not leave a debt unpaid. But I was unsure how I might go about it until you showed up. You're a craftswoman of no small repute. Couldn't you make the man a staff for me? He is something of a conjurer. I have no doubt he would admire your handiwork. Though I can't say I know what kind of stuff he'd like. You will have to take that up with the man himself. Please, make him whatever he desires. On my honor, you will not go unpaid. Can I help you? Said to repay me, you say? Even if I insisted that I didn't need anything? Ah well, you know how these fellows are. Never happy until their honor is satisfied. Well, I shan't play coy any longer. My cane was damaged, and it's about time I had a new one. I would welcome a dark chestnut rod, if you would be so kind. Have you found your way to crafting a dark chestnut wood, my child? Hello, near above. The wood feels alive, warm as if it still remained rooted in the ground. Why, I can't attend to far more ailments now. This is a masterwork, and you mean to say you made this, my child? I mean no offense, of course, but I expected something less than this. Philippe Allais is a fine boy, but when he promised to repay me for interceding on his father's behalf, I did not think he would have a means to do so. Father actually asked me. I beg your pardon. His father commissioned you? I bought a clutch of fowler's fangs. They're good plump ones, too. Ah, Philippe Allais, that is most kind of you. I very much appreciate the thought. But a growing boy needs food more than I, eh? Please, take them for yourself. What your father sent was thanks enough. Father sent thanks? My father? Indeed, my dear boy. He's an honorable man. Like father, like son, eh? Now, I must be going. There are many and more who need tending, and I'm itching to try out the staff. Alone to keep you all. Oh, and pass along my thanks to Bartovir, if you please. I'm the one who told the monastic, you know. Told him that my father might get hurt fighting the dragon. But don't you dare tell father what I did. Knowing I asked for help would only shame him. If only he'd stop this nonsense on his own. Did the priest like it? I wager he did at that. You made it after all. It's not much, but here, your payment. Now, I'm off to practice. I'm no true archer just yet, and that almost cost me my life, but no matter what, I'll not suffer that dragon to live. And we indeed do not tell him. Careful synthesis. Just a stronger basic synthesis, but it costs CP. If you have it, fine. If not, yeah, you can't use it. I'm glad of a chance to see you this way. Since last we spoke, I spent every spare moment at the butts. I'm not confident that I'm worthy of your weapon, and with some luck, I'll be able to lay Nigerovilo low. In fact, I'd have left to do so, but the bow has gone missing. Haven't seen Philippe Allais today either. You don't think... Quickly, help me search. I look for the boy around the broom, you around the holy stable. There's Philippe Allais. If he doesn't have his bow, he can't leave. Philippe Allais, what in the seven else were you thinking? Why do you have to fight Nigerovilo? What if you don't come back this time, father? What then? Son, I will come back. Why do you think I took up the bow? The dragon can't hurt me if he can't hit me. Like he didn't hit you last time? You'd be dead if I hadn't told the priest. What's that? I told him. Begged him to help so that you wouldn't... You could have died, father. Philippe Allais, I never knew you worried so... But you got to understand that there is no other path to knighthood for me. Without the dragon's head, we've got no future, and you deserve more than this life, son. I like this life. I don't want you to die, father. Son. Father, if you really must fight him, then find a safer way. If there were one, we'd all be dragon slayers. Have you even tried? My snares catch birds. Couldn't a large trap catch a dragon? Then you could kill it with ease. I suppose so, We'd need the right kind of wood, but Desiree could help with that, couldn't you? That's the best idea I've heard so far. Some might call me a craven, but I can take that for the boy's sake. Let's give it a try. Can't leave him all alone, like I was. Need your help, Desiree. And good lumber. For Nigerovilo, I'd say 3 lengths at least. Do you know what won't splinter even when holding a livid dragon? Well, what about your timber master? Wouldn't he know? I can ask him. So let's travel to Gridania to ask the timber master. Timber master Beathin, maybe you can advise me. A snare for a dragon? That Ishgardian spirit led you to unexpected places, it seems. Well, I can tell you a greenwood best suits your needs. The dragon's eye will destroy aught less pliable. New cut timber can freeze, however. You must needs find a type resilient to cold climes. Nothing readily jumps to mind, but I do know a botanist who works in the cold of Curthus. He goes by the name Rotoloin, and you find him at Skyfire Locks. He's an expert of sorts, and I suggest you consult him. Right. We've been here with a botanist. How to trap a dragon, eh? Well, you certainly don't want prohibition. I believe birch would be best for your purposes. Wood doesn't share the beauty of oak or teak, but it has no equal when it comes to flexibility. Moreover, it absorbs little moisture as a greenwood and will not turn brittle by freezing. Let's craft birch then. At least one log. The other two are finished. Come on. Alright, part of you. I bring you what you wanted. Have you had any luck finding the proper lumber, Desiree? Birch, huh? If it's as flexible as you say, Nigarilo won't be able to break free. I think I can build a fine trap out of this. No doubt you went to some trouble. Here, have this. It's not much, but hopefully it shows my thanks. Now, let's see if I can't get that dragon, huh? So, the level 60 quest. In order to complete this quest, you must have learned the advanced recipes contained within Master Recipes Master Carpenter 3, which you can buy from the script shop. I had him, Desiree. Right in the trap, arriving. But I made a stupid mistake. True, Nigarilo couldn't force its way out, but well, I never took him for a fire breather. Because I loosed arrows like a madman when he broke free. But my arrows just bounced off his scale, so I fled, like I promised Willy Palais. But I'm not done yet. This experience has taught me that I don't know Nigarilo as I ought to. He must have a weak spot, and I mean to find it. I'd like your help if you're willing. His armor is the problem. I gotta figure out how to pierce it. And he thrashed about in the trap enough that I'm wagering he left his scale behind. Could you go and examine the wreckage? It's in the convictory now. Give the soldiers my name and he'll let you have a look. We'll discuss a strategy when you return. For the moment, I'd like to spend some time with my boy. Now, Shivering Night. Part of you? Oh, the trap. Made that into firewood, I did. It's freezing here. Found a spearhead though, stuck in the dragon most like. Have it. Can't burn it, can I? Deliver the furite spearhead to Bartoview. I'm currently trying to remember if furite is actually a crafting material or just a plot thing. I knew we had furite sand in the AR relic quest, but I don't recall ever using actual furite. Well, did you find Nigarilo's scale? No, but a spearhead. Seven out this way. Remember my father's spear? This is its spearhead. This can only mean he fought Negerovilo. But that means Negerovilo killed him. My father died a knight's death. Father must have driven his lance into Negerovilo. It stayed in the dragon's body even through his 20 years sleep. When the dragon awoke, he flew somewhere over the shroud where the shaft fell. Only the spearhead remained. By finding the pieces of the lance, we've learned the truth. But fate's been even kinder than that. It's given us a way to kill Negerovilo too. Somewhere, between the dragon's scales, is an open wound. The spearhead long lodged there will have kept it agape. If I sent an arrow into it... But can I hit such a target? If I miss... No, I cannot risk it. Only the lance will serve here. No, please don't, Father. It's too dangerous. Grandfather fought Negerovilo with a lance and died. You barely escaped last time, and only because you were using a bow. I can end this with one thrust, Philippale. Besides, I'm better with the spear, and I've got an ally your grandfather didn't have. Desiree. She can fashion me a weapon finer than my father's. I won't lose, son. I won't lose. Fine. Die. See if I care. Son. I'm sorry, but my mind's made up. Desiree, I need a new lance. My father was furious, but I wish for an adamantite trident. It's worth the gil even to dip into my reserve coin. And if it allows me to clear my father's solid name, you can name your price. And you need the Master Carpenter 3 recipes, because this is exactly among them. Shit, I need more birch, and I don't have enough. I go quickly buy some, actual. Alright, this is only normal. And... let's see. It's a pretty bad starting point. I'll have Negerovilo's life for my father's, Desiree. Aye, this is what I need. A spearhead keen as a dragon's claw and a sturdy haft, welcoming to the hand. Even from you, this is better than I dreamed. To snare Negerovilo, I'll have to drive this into his heart, through the wound my father left. I've no doubt I can do so with this. I lie in wait for the Javanians where he hunts, to the north of the convictory. But I've got one last request to make of you. Philippales will be sulking round the holy stables. Please tell him why I'm doing this, and that I will be coming home. For grandfather's honor? He really said that? Never said anything nice about grandfather. Milksop, like the traitor even. But maybe he always believed. Secretly. Alright, I believe in my father too. I can't just sit back and wait for him to come home, can I? Please, come with me to watch him, Desiree. He's done it. But the spear! And Negerovilo was... Did you see that, father? Couldn't have done it without you. You did it! You did it! Philippe, what in Halona's name are you doing here? Father, the way you moved with the lance? I was wrong to doubt you. You are a proper dragon slayer now. I'm at that. I've avenged my father and cleared his name. I've earned the bloody title. If the Order recognizes me, you'll finally get the life you deserve, son. Desiree, I asked much of you, and you never let me down. You've got my thanks. You're welcome. I could not have slain Nigaravilo without this lance. If only my father had such a fine weapon. I've got to go where he rests and apologize. I lost faith in him. I listened to what others said, as I've said more than my fair share of unkind things over the years too. Where is he, father? Nearby. I've never been, but it's time you met him, Philippe. That was amazing. Thank you for giving me a chance to see him. Me and the boy visit my father's grave. It's in the village yard in Gorgania Mills, not far from here. We would have liked you, Desiree. Why not join us? Would be funny when the main quest allied. But he couldn't actually have done it, I don't think. Because remember, Gorgania Mills was the heretics' hideout. So he went here to apologize to his father and tell him he has slain a dragon and gets killed by heretics. With his son. Father, Mrs. Desiree, she's the one who made the trident. What I'm trying to say is, Nigaravilo is dead. I killed him. And this is Philippe. He's my son and your grandson. I should have brought him sooner. I should have done a good many things sooner. Believe in you. Defend your honor. You were a brave knight and a better man than me. Mine was the blow that killed Nigaravilo, but only because your thrust was true. Farewell, father. I'll be back. We'll go and make the truth about my father known to the Temple Knights. Aye, and the Dragon Staff too. Thank you, Desiree. None of this would have been possible without you. This concludes the Carpenter quest for Heaven's Ward. Continue in Stormblood. From Beathin. Rapid Synthesis Mastery. How's it going, both of you? I told the Temple Knights the truth behind my father's death, and that Nigaravilo is dead by my hand. They've not accepted me into the Order just yet. These things take time after all. But they've paid for the dragon's head, and it's enough to keep Philippe warm and fed till he's a man full grown. The boy spends every spare moment practicing with that trident you made. Said he wants to slay dragons like his old man, and I'm worried he's getting just good enough to do it. And unfortunately, this quest never continues. It will always be later. At least so far as I have seen. And what has Master Beathin to say about all this? If he has something to say? Bravo, Desiree, an adamantite trident is a rare and precious weapon, and you ought to take pride in having crafted one. In fact, word of it had to reach Gridania more swiftly than you did. How are things? Okay, nothing new, but he congratulates me at least. Good, that shall be it then for this episode. Until next time, when we play more Final Fantasy XIV, I'm Mace, and don't get lost.